Toki toi olisi hyvä toi.
Se illan paras oli se, näitä on pakkaset. Sorry Cloud, this is disturbing.
Hei!
Sähköauto oltiin U5 ja Audi.
Taaksepäin, jääkataan taaksepäin ja... Hello!
Varoitus. Alkushow sisältää vilkkuvaa valoa ja kuvaa.
tervetuloa Tanskaan. Please welcome Team Denmark. Ja tervetuloa Suomeen. Please welcome Team Finland.
Nikolai Ehlers and Denmark getting set to take on Marko Anttila and Finland in the final game of the preliminary round. The officials for this game, Christopher Holm of Sweden, Liam Sewell of Great Britain are your referees, Nick Briganti of the United States, Nicholas Constantino of France are the referees. There's Jukka Jalonen. Says this is a very important game for his team, despite the fact it really doesn't mean anything. And for Heinz Ehlers, his final game behind the bench for Denmark, he will go back to coaching in Switzerland next year. So a special night for him here in Tampere. With the win earlier today by Germany, that eliminated Denmark from the possibility of a quarterfinal match. As for Finland, they know they're not going to finish higher than third. They won't finish lower than third. They get ready for a quarterfinal match here in Tampere against Canada on Thursday. So that's the setup for this game. It doesn't mean anything for the standings. Denmark looks at it as a special game for their coach. There's a look at Emil Larmi, who will start in goal 2-2. But despite that, his numbers are good, 1.97 and 9.21. George Sorensen came in after the injury to Fredrik Dickau, and he will look for his first World Championship win. There is Marcus Lorentzen. His brother Oliver Lorentzen is not in the lineup, has been missing the last couple games because of injury. And there is Nikolai Ehlers, who here because he wants to play for his country, but also knowing that this was his dad's last tournament as coach of Denmark's World Championship team. And certainly special for Heinz Ehlers to have Nikolai here with them. This one underway here in Tampere. Taken back by Lehtinen. Mikko Lehtinen gets to center, sends it on. Hartikainen will deflect it in. Manninen trying to center it, and Nick Jensen is on it. Nick Jensen on for Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers sends it on for Russell. Russell lets the shot go, and Emil Larmi will make the first save of the game.
Jukka Jalonen said we still got a ways to go for his Finland team. He likes the way they're headed, and they continue to improve in a lot of ways. They started to get their scoring down. They looked a little stiff, I thought, early on in the tournament when it came to the offensive part of the game. They know they're playing against a Denmark team that's relaxed. He said we played them twice in preparation for this tournament, and they beat us once. So he's trying to get the attention of his team.
Important for Mikko Rantanen to maybe get a goal in this game?
Yeah, would certainly help. He's got 7 assists, but as there's a little snow shower there, and that's not going to be taken lightly. Yeah, that wasn't too cool of letting it come in. There was no reason for him to spray snow on Sorensen there. But yeah, for Rantanen, sure, he's had a good tournament. He's had 7 assists, but Mikko Rantanen, especially early, the first 3 games, I don't remember him missing so many scoring opportunities. He was fanning on it, etc. Hey, it happens to everybody. But they would love to see him get a goal or 2 for sure, so that his offensive confidence is peaked going into the medal rounds.
Icing will be called here against Denmark. That'll bring the face-off all the way back. Finland is the defending champion. There's a look at Mikkel Bodker, veteran player for this Denmark team.
Bodker's really had trouble getting things going. He only has 1 goal in the World Championships, and he's a -6.
And Kasperi Kapanen, to look at him there quickly, went from the 4th line to the 3rd line, now to the 2nd line, and has been very good for Finland here. A +6 leads the team in that category, 2 goals and 4 points. for Kasperi Kapanen.
And Sorensen's in net for Denmark, just made that save. He played in 2 games, 6 goals against. Of course, Dick Howe got injured. He was playing most of the games for Denmark until he got run into really heavily and he suffered a concussion. He played in 5 games and 10 goals against. Then he was done for the rest of the tournament.
Played out at center ice, and Capo Kakko will give chase. We had a look at Antti Sumala there. 62.5% in the face-off department for Finland. Didn't start the tournament.
Now that we have both goaltenders warmed up,
yep.
they've each had a couple of nice, easy shots. Okay, you guys ready to go? Olli Maatta was just out there with Koivisto, and that pairing has been, I think, the best one. They get 5 points so far, all assists from Olli Maatta, 2 assists from Koivisto, and they're plus overall, so they get a lot of matchups of the top guys on the other team.
Harry Pessinen plays it on for Joel Armia, tried to get it through for Lammikko. Kasperi Kapanen and Joel Armia basically have switched spots. Kasperi Kapanen moving up that lineup. Denmark will carry in. Squeezed out on the far side. Aspera played up the boards and grabbed off, and Finland will regroup. Poka will play it around. This will get snapped off the boards by Seppala. That pass didn't get anywhere. Seppala will try it again. Rink wide he goes for Lammikko. Lammikko will snap this into the Denmark zone. Joel Armia almost a steal there on a clearing attempt by Gammelgaard. And down the ice it goes, and back forward is Freeman. 2 assists in this World Championship for him. So all we know so far, there's Antila coming in to the front of the net. This gets deflected up and out of play. Then it will be Germany and Switzerland and Canada and Finland in the quarterfinals. The other 2 are dependent on the game tonight between Switzerland and Latvia in Riga.
You talk about Kapanen and Armia basically switching situations, and Kapanen, I think, with Suomela and Kakko. Kakko's a -1. Suomela's +2. He's only got 3 points. Joel Armia is -5. So I think they wanted to readjust the lines there and give a little different feel, and that certainly makes sense.
Another full building here in Tampere. Palo swings this around the boards. Put down low by Bjornanen. Bjornanen leads this World Championship in face-off success at 67.6%. Shot from the line turned away by George Sorensen. Bjornanen gets it back at the line, scores! Matt Palo let the shot go, and it is Marko Antila with the deflection, and Finland has the 1-0 lead.
Simple plays, and Finland knows how to make them. And Antila, who is incredibly popular here, the fans are going crazy that he has scored. Get it back to the point, moving screen. How about that for a redirection? Beautiful. That one's going wide. He knocks it down and backwards. And there's not much a goaltender can do on this one. Bouncing puck gets by him. And Finland, who really just wants to continue to build their offensive game, they're pretty stalwart defensively. They don't have too many worries. We mentioned the fact that Armia and Kapanen have changed lines, trying to solidify things a little bit and play even more solid, but that gets them off to the start offensively they want.
The 6'8" captain of this Finland team, Marko Antila, on the deflection of the Matti Palo shot from the line, and 1-0 in favor of Finland.
Finland first goal scored by number 12, Marko Anttila.
His second of the World Championship.
23, Mikolas Matipalo, and 24, Hannes Björninen.
Bjornanen with the second assist. And there's a look at Antila.
Here's how it happened again. Retrieve pucks behind the net, off the boards to the point, and moving screens. It's not that the coverage was bad. You can see Denmark had done a very, very good job. Their coverage was actually good. When a guy reaches back and knocks one out of the air like that, those ones are tough to defend.
Frederick Storm will play this back to the line. Shot, and Emil Larmi makes the save and hangs on for Frederick Storm, his 82nd World Championship game. #1 among active players for Denmark. And there's a look at Jukka Jalonen.
The pressure will just start for him now. I mean, they want to win. They've been playing here in their home country, and it's all about the gold medal for them.
It was interesting that he said we want to get better game by game, but then he added we still have a long way to go.
Yeah, yeah. He wasn't happy, and for Heinz Ehlers, yeah, it's sort of a sweet goodbye. He said he had a strange feeling today. He kept it out of his mind. He knows this is the last game ever. His son is playing for him in this last game ever as the coach of the national team. He's going to go coach in Switzerland. And yeah, you don't let those things creep in until the last minute. That's why you're trained, either as a player or as a coach.
Michael Gust out of Sweden has been hired as the new head coach of the Denmark team. Did coach in Denmark a number of years ago for a year in Odense. So he does have some experience with Danish hockey. Here comes Sakari Manilin for Rantanen, and Otama joins the rush, and Otama has Finland up 2-0, and another assist for Mikko Rantanen.
Mikko Rantanen has not scored a goal, but boy, has he made some absolutely beautiful plays in this tournament, and this is one of them. A lot of guys would have rushed it. He gets the pass. It's an outnumbered attack. Denmark is caught up. Rantanen's on the right side of your screen, and he's on his backhand. And they're rushing him because they know the quality of play that Rantanen has. But he makes the backhand pass so quickly and right into the right spot for Otama, following up on the play, and that's just beautifully delivered. And if the coach at all was worried about his team and where they are, yeah, they're progressing just nicely right here in this game.
Second of the tournament for Antti Otama. Emil Larmi will send this on. Olimata plays it ahead to the line and no further. Is running out of room there was Sumala. And carried back in by Koch. It comes back at the line. Asperup tried to get it deep. It comes off a skate. Here comes Kakko. Kakko takes a look. And it goes to the slot. Save made as Sumala with the opportunity. Back to the line it comes. Taken there by Koivisto. For Capo Kakko. Kakko will drop it off. Olimata. Back for Koivisto and back for Mata. He'll let the wrist shot go, and George Sorensen will snare this on the short side and hang on to it. 2-0 Finland here in the first. And almost 3.
Yeah, Sorensen needs a little help. You can't make plays like that at the offensive blue line. Nothing fancy. It has to get deep, especially when you're down 2-0 and you're playing against a team the quality of Finland. They're going to attack you at exactly the angles that they're supposed to. And the goaltender just needs more support. Too much of a scramble situation here for Denmark so far.
Only the third game of this tournament for Antti Sumala, as he basically switched spots with Jiri Salonen on that.
And a half minutes. He is a big man out there, and he helps change things when they're going sideways.
Christian Weisse not in the lineup for Denmark, injured in the previous game, just played 27 seconds in the game against Sweden. Got a hip check at the line from Henrik Tomernes, and reports are it is a knee injury, and he is not in this game, this final game of the World Championship for Denmark. Marcus Lordson, who is in a group along with Ehlers, Nick Jensen, and Morten Green, to record 8 points in a single World Championship. We'll see whether he or Ehlers or Jensen, all three in this game, can pick up a point in this game to their ante in that stat. This gets chipped off the boards by Freeman up the center ice. Montempello. Antila goes after it. Broken stick on the play. That's Antila's. And brought back in by Krogsgaard. He gets squeezed out in the corner. Ehlers backs him up at the right point. Ehlers sends it across, and a shot through some traffic. That got deflected wide. Gamelgard will switch sides. Comes to the near side now, but the puck doesn't get to him. And cleared back out at center, and Ehlers will bring it back in. Ehlers gets stopped at the line by Bjornanen and on for Rantanen. Rantanen in with Oksanen. And the pass was intercepted. Ehlers in on Rantanen. Oksanen on the loose puck for Mannanen for Otama, and that shot got blocked. Jesper Jensen Abo, the captain of Denmark, who leads all players in this tournament in minutes played. There's Fredrik Storm. He was in behind everybody. Couldn't handle that pass cleanly for a clean breakaway. Did get a shot away. Now he's trying to steal it there from Otama. And this goes down the ice at an icing call against Finland.
Yeah, Storm had a good chance there. It's too bad he couldn't field it properly. It's the minuses, the goals that have been scored against Denmark at even strength. That's what's made the difference. Storm's a -5, Paulson's -6, Bodker, who's not had a great tournament, he is -6 as well. When you're second line guys, basically, you're hoping to get certainly a lot more production and at least, you know, be more towards even, if not positive. But, you know, Denmark came in as one of those tweener teams too. Which way were they going to go? And they started off great and then just faded as the tournament went on.
Hartikainen is on it. And tweener is the perfect description of Denmark because they started 3-0. And it was that middle game, the fourth game of the 7-game preliminary round, that they lost to Germany. They were down 3-1, came back and tied it up. And then 21 seconds later gave up the lead again and lost 6-4. And then it was downhill from there. They knew that they had tough teams after that. Penalty coming up on the play. Mikko Rantanen will go to the box. Mikko Rantanen to the box for holding. Denmark will get the game's first power play.
This is what made Denmark in the first couple of games. Their power play was absolutely super. It was the best in the tournament by far. So much movement. They were scoring goals. Nikolai Ehlers had 3 power play goals in the first 2 games. 2 of them in game 1, and they seemed unstoppable. And then it started to dry out.
To start the final day, this is an interesting stat. The #1 power play at the World Championship, Austria. The #2 power play, Denmark.
It's what they were doing early on, and that sustained them certainly. But I mean, they were at such a high rate. It was pretty tough to sustain, and everybody starts to get a feel for you. You watch more and more tape. And coaching is so good now, you find antidotes for it. But the great thing about their power play is the movement. They move all around. A lot of it focuses around Nikolai Ehlers, who plays, he's a lefty on the left wing side. He loves to loop up by the blue line and then come downhill once they get inside the zone and then get set up. And then they're more likely to have their one-timer shot from the other side from Jensen.
3 of Ehlers' 4 goals have come on the power play for Denmark. This gets cleared down the ice. Oksanen goes after it. trying to center it for Lamiko. It bounces around and does get cleared at the last second. Oaksenden, who doesn't play much, missed a game, has 2 goals in the tournament though, and is a very effective penalty killer. And now an icing call against Denmark. We talk about Switzerland and Latvia. Switzerland will finish first. The game tonight means nothing for them, and I don't imagine Slovakia right now is all that happy with Switzerland, because Slovakia needs a clean loss by Latvia to make sure that they make that quarterfinal spot. Not dressed for Switzerland tonight, Nico Hischier, Nino Niederreiter, Dennis Mulligan, and the starting goaltender is Joran van Pottelberg in his World Championship debut.
Yeah, and if you ask Switzerland, they'd say, okay, don't put yourself in that position, right?
Bingo.
We look after us, you look after you.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm sure there's some ruffled feathers.
Backhander to the short side, and the save made by Emil Larmi, and he will hang on to it. That came from Mikkel Bodker. There's been times in this tournament where Emil Larmi has looked a little shaky. He looks solid tonight.
And that's an important thing, of course. You want your goaltender to feel good about himself. Yeah, he has had stretches where he went, wow, he really made some great saves. And then others, he went, okay, where did he go there? You don't go anywhere in a tournament like this unless you have solid goaltending.
709 NHL games played for Mikkel Bodker.
And just for the sake of Larmi there, 8 goals against in the 4 games he played. I mean, that's not bad. And he's got a .921 save percentage, but it's just the way he let in some of the goals. That's what we're talking about there. Is it a concentration level thing? Well, that should become crystal clear once you get into the quarterfinals and beyond if you're going to go.
Across it goes, and a save on the short side off of Olsen. Now we have a player down in the crease. It was the Denmark player Morten Paulsen, and now this will get cleared and set out. Paulsen and his line mates will head to the bench. Power play is over. That was only the 12th time in this World Championship in 7 games now that Finland has been shorthanded, 90.9%. Sweden came into today's action not giving up a power play goal against. Team USA took care of that in an overtime win to finish first in Group A. Into the high slot, clearing attempt, and grabbed off by Kakko.
Finland doesn't self-destruct, in other words, so they are disciplined. When you don't take very many penalties, that's where it starts. It means you're going to be 5-on-5 or on the power play. You're going to give yourself every single chance, and that fits with their whole makeup and how they play and what their philosophy is.
Finland starts the cycle. Collision in front of the net as George Sorensen was knocked down. Antti Sumala is involved in it. We'll straighten it out when we come back. For Finland, Anders Krogsgaard will go to the penalty box for interference. Finland's power play running at 33%, 6 for 18. And Denmark on the penalty kill, 10 of 14 for 71.4%. Denmark 3-3 coming into this last game. winning the first 3 and losing the last 3.
This is what we've seen, at least early on in the power plays for Finland. They really want to get it into the bumper spot. There were occasions in past games where I thought you keep going to the same thing all the time when the guy is covered. But that's how they started off at any rate, probably maybe trying to loosen up the flanks after that.
Sakari Manninen wins the face-off, and the power play goes to work. Manninen has taken over 100 face-offs for Finland. Comes in at 53% in the, or 57% success rate. Jam back for Mikko Rantanen. Rantanen gets it to the goal line. Comes back up top, shot by Mikko Lehtinen. And that ticked off a body in front, went wide. Rantanen is on it again. Pessanen and Hartikainen go to the front of the net. Comes near side for Manninen. Manninen back up top. Lehtinen will chase this down. Gets it on for Rantanen. Pressure from Russell on Rantanen. And Rantanen goes down. Hartikainen on the puck. Gets it back for Rantanen. Up top for Lehtinen. Back for Rantanen. Pass was partially intercepted by Frederick Storm. Sakari Manninen lets it go for Pessanen. Pessanen on for Rantanen. Back for Lehtinen. Near side Manninen doesn't shoot it. Rantanen is on it now. He'll walk it in. Being chased there by Russell. Rantanen. Now he shoots it. Sharp angle. And Manninen is on the puck and back for Lehtinen. 24 seconds left in the power play. Rantanen looking out front. Comes back at the line. And Lehtinen back for Rantanen. Down it goes. And Manninen tried to go cross ice. Back for Rantanen. And he rattled that one wide. Lehtinen. Manninen. Hartikainen for Rantanen. And he tried to get that to the back post. Looking for the stick of Harry Pessanen. Power play is over. Kroksgaard out of the box. And that pass across skipped over his stick.
A couple of good sticks there for Denmark, and that's what knocked it away. The last one by Jensen Abo, and that got them going up the ice. The Finns taking their time, certainly on the power play. One of the remarkable things about Rantanen is he's so calm under pressure. Some guys are careless in those situations. I wouldn't call him careless. I just say he just doesn't seem to have any pulse at all. And he can make some great plays when you put him under pressure.
Terrific year with the Colorado Avalanche in the year where the Avs went through so many injuries.
He carried them. He carried them on his back when they had major guys out of the lineup, and 55 goals and 105 points. Spectacular in today's NHL.
Sumala will chip this to the near side boards, chase it down. Plays it around for Kapanen. Kapanen will send it back. Olli Mata down for Kaapo Kakko. Kakko spinning off a check. Trying to lose the checking of Olsson. Kakko up top. He'll drop it back for Ultima. Lets the long shot go. Sorensen steered it aside. And taken by Ogard. And he'll send it on for Anderson. Back for Ogard and in. Emil Army plays it for Olli Mata. Nice outlet pass for Sumala. And on for Koivisto. For Yoel Armia. Puts on the brakes inside the line. Armia dishes it back. Seppala in from the line. Leaves it for Lammikko. Pessanen tries to work it off the backboards. Lammikko for Polka, the shot, and that's deflected away by Sorensen. Seppala trying to hold it in. Ogard trying to jam it out. Lammikko watched by Anderson. Under 6 to go here in period number 1. Pessanen trying to work it off the backboards against the checking of Anders Koch. Armia chipped it down low, but Lammikko was headed the other direction. And that allows Anderson to play it back into his own zone.
If I was the Danes, these regroups, I wouldn't wait too long. I know they wanted to make line changes, and so did the Finns. But the Finns are so good at hemming him in the zone. I think I'd start to make my way out of the zone instead of trying to fight through that neutral zone where the Finns are really good. They know how to spread the ice out, and then they trap you, turn the puck over. So when you can get out quickly, get out.
It's almost like it's a mutual agreement. The teams decide, okay, we're going to change now. So power play coming up for Finland.
Referee dance moves. Let's go.
Jesper Jensen Abel to the penalty box for holding, averages just under 25 minutes. 1 second under, so it may as well be 25 minutes a game. That leads this World Championship. Patrick Russell, who will take this face-off, leads all forwards in this World Championship in per-game ice time. Marcus Lordson, the defenseman, is kind of in the middle of all of that. And he's out there on the penalty kill now. Kakko will dump it back up top. Near side for Armia. Save made by Sorensen. Sent around, and Sumala will take it off the sideboards and play give and go there with Kakko. Pass is intercepted. Armia will jump on the loose puck. Armia gets pressured by Matthias Lassen. Back for Olli Mata. Cross ice for Yoel Armia, and that shot, that got blocked by Lassen. Frederick Storm trying to get a handle on it on the penalty kill. Comes up the boards after Russell got dumped. Into the high slot, Kapanen off the heel of his stick, and Armia's on it. Plays it for Kaapo Kakko and back for Yoel Armia. The Ranger and the Canadian. It's a career year for Kaapo Kakko with the Rangers. Off a skate, Armia. Sends it all the way around for Sumala. It got away from him. And Olli Mata will hustle back-to-back Stanley Cups for Olli Mata. Sends it on for Kapanen. Kapanen, the hero of the 2016 World Junior year. There's another penalty coming to Denmark. It's going to be a 5-on-3.
Yeah, they didn't need this. This is Bow, who gets his stick right up into the hands, and you're going to get called every time for this one. He's trying to make the play. When you miss your first check and you end up in behind a guy, and that's Yoel Armia who pulled away from him. Armia's got some slick little moves, and he was able to slide off him at the beginning. This is how it all ended, and a shot up the side of the mask, and yet another 5-on-3 that we're seeing here today.
We've had a few of them. Sweden and USA each had one in the first period. And a face-off win by Morten Paulsen, and this will get cleared down the ice. Mikko Lehtinen for Mikko Rantanen. For Hartikainen, Teemu Hartikainen. Plays it back to the goal line. It goes for Harry Pessinen. Manninen, Lehtinen wires that one, and that got blocked by Morten Paulsen. Back for Lehtinen, down for Rantanen. Into the slot, save made. Hartikainen, 2 chances, and George Sorensen, 2 saves. Pessinen on for Rantanen. Rantanen walks it in, and another save. As Rantanen was looking high glove on that short side, and Sorensen just snares it.
Hartikainen's the guy in the bumper spot right in the middle, and when it's 5-on-3, you're going to get more room. They love to make that play, and it's harder for him getting it from the right wing side because he has to pivot. Boy, does he get it away quickly, and Sorensen does a real nice job of fighting off all these shots. One of them just glances off the side of his arm and off the outside of the post.
There's been talk about Finland's goals against compared to last year. Power play is over. Lehtinen gets it down to the front of the net. Hartikainen was off the back post. And now Sakari Manninen tried to draw a penalty, but the officials not buying what he was selling. And play goes on, and here comes Lehtinen. Finland's not giving up more shots than they did last year when they were such a good team. It's just that more of the shots against are going in, and I don't think you can blame it all on the goaltenders.
No, that's true. When they've made mistakes, they've been bigger ones, and perhaps year over year, the shooters get even better.
Morten Paulson will bring this in. Nico Lehtinen forces him to the outside, puts on the brakes, and grabbed off by Hartikainen. Hartikainen with Manninen, Kakko, Rantanen, short side try, and grabbed and held by Sorensen with now just 14 seconds left in the power play. One period done in Riga, and it's 0-0 after 20 minutes of play.
Boy, is Sorensen earning his money home, though, in his first period. 18 shots already. That one was from a vicious angle, but it was really tough because it looked like it was certainly on target. A pass from the middle of the ice right down to the goal line almost, and Manninen pulled the trigger. That would have gone in.
Slap shot by Olli Maatta, whistles wide. Armia has it off the backboards. And played ahead for Russell. Russell gives way to Armia, who gives way to Jensen. And Jensen gives way to Sumala. Bow out of the penalty box. And Denmark back at full strength. So Finland 0 for 3 on the power play in this game.
Well, the top lines for both teams actually come out even when it comes to the points. They've both got 17 points. Top line for Denmark, 8 goals among the 17 points. For Finland, 6 goals among the 17 points.
Blast from the line, scores. Seppala lets it go, and it got tipped in front. There was a couple of players there. And it may be Ville Pukka who was down there, and this would be his first World Championship goal.
Well, similar to the first goal, just have puck possession, shoot pucks from the point. Yeah, it's definitely Pukka. Sorensen comes out, and he's challenging on the shot from the point. The goaltender's in good position, but when you have these nasty redirections, that's a complete change-up. He had his glove in the right position. Not much you can do there, and Pukka with a great redirection there for his first goal.
5th World Championship for him. Spent some time in the American Hockey League. And a 3-0 lead now for Finland. Seppala and Kakko will get the assists. Stopped at the line as Freeman's pass was stopped by Molgaard. And take it in behind the net. Freeman will start up with less than a minute to go here in the opening period. This will get sent in by Matt Pello. Matt Pello giving chase on it. And this will get flipped back down the ice. It was knocked down with a high stick for Denmark. It doesn't get across the icing line, and Finland will play it. Therefore, play will continue. And Koivisto will park in behind his own net. 19-7, the shots in favor of Finland. And as Brian said, George Sorensen is earning his money tonight. There's 20. Finland back on the regroup. And then perhaps content to just run the clock out here. And my guess is Denmark is okay with that. Clock stopped there for a second. Players were looking up saying, okay.
What happened? What happened in the last 3 seconds?
It's a long 3 seconds. 20-7, the shots in favor of Finland, and a 3-0 lead after 20 minutes.
After the first period, Team Finland 3, Team Denmark 0. Laukauksen maalia kohti ensimmäisessä erässä Tanska 7, Suomi 2.
Vaihe. Hyvä, jatkoa. Hyvä duuni.
Easy, easy. In front. Yes, holding the stick. You tug right under. No, you tug, holding the stick. All good, man? Take your time, eh? Heads up, heads up, heads up. I got it, I see him, I see him, I see him. I see him, let's go. He just falls over there, eh? If the puck goes in, no goal.
Nikolai Ehlers and Denmark scoreless for them. 3 for Capo Kakko and Finland. And a 3-0 lead after one period. Emil Larmi faced 7 shots in the opening period, stopped all 7. Comes into the game with a .921 save percentage. And George Sorensen at the other end of the ice faced 20 shots. Stopped 17 of the 20, made a number of real good saves.
They got to help him out. You know, they do. Sorensen was under siege there at times, and I know Denmark's got nothing to play for, and they need a good push here early on. See if they can score a goal and get themselves interested a little bit there. But if nothing else, for their coach, who it's his last game coaching the national team, and for the goaltender, who, yeah, had 20 shots and had 3 goals go behind him already. You got to play here to the end.
And want to build the program. They hosted the World Championship back in 2018. And Denmark will host again with Sweden in 2025 in Herningen and Stockholm. So all the talk about NHL players, and I'm sure that Denmark for that year, they had the players show up for the 2018 as many as possible when they hosted. And they also had as many possible show up for the Olympic trials and the Olympic games that Heinz Ehlers talked about the Lindsey Hamilton before, and how competitive they were in those Olympic trials.
And yeah, he said that's his greatest memories is that sequence of events there, and that was great that Lindsey asked him that question, and he was able to come forward with that. And his memories will be flooding through. Right now, he's in the coach mode, and he's trying to keep his team inspired here so they can get something going and score a couple of goals. We'll see if he uses more of his bench as they go along. The Finns and Denmark both do the same thing. They play their top 3 D-men the most. They ride them the most, and then everybody else trickles on down after that.
So Latvia is now leading Switzerland 1-0. Wraparound try there by Hartikainen. Let everybody a nice time in the opening period. Rolf Freeberg has Latvia up 1-0. And that building will be jumping. A point out of that game tonight, and Latvia will make the quarterfinals. And that city will be in a frenzy. Koivu's 2. Being watched by Mikkel Bodker. Storm races to the far side, kept in by Olli Mata. And they pin it up against the wall. Mata on it. Storm is all over him. Mata will drop it back. Kapanen brings it to the front of the net and whipped it wide. There was no doubt Kasperi Kapanen has gotten better every game of this World Championship. In across for Sumala, some nice stick handling to get deep into the Denmark zone. Got in a little tight. Sorensen had the short side blocked off.
Yeah, I think that line for Finland has got improved each game. Capo Kakko, a bit of a slow start when it came to opportunities, but I'm not sure anybody has quicker feet in this entire World Championship than Capo Kakko. Man, in tight spaces, could he ever lose a guy that's on him? And Suomela is getting better all the time. Kapanen, as you said, has had the puck a lot. He's had a lot of looks at net, and it could be an important line. The big line does what they do, but you need more than that, and that could be the line, I think, that really turns things for Finland if they're going to do well.
Yoel Armia works it off the sideboards. He's forced in behind the net. Armia stays on it, turns to the forehand, floats it to the short side. Sorensen turned it away. And off the backboards, Sorensen will trap it against the mesh and hang on to it.
Here's what they do. They got some big guys. They've got talented guys. Really nice move by Kapanen. Just missed it. Couldn't quite get it in the hook of the toe enough to put it in the far side. But beautiful stop and go and change of direction. And that's kind of stuff I'm talking about. That second line brings to it and can put a lot of pressure on. And they're a great follow-up to that Hartikainen line.
Bogard out to take this face-off against Lamiko. Jam back to the blue line. Poka, who has the third Finland goal, gets this shot through. Sorensen will take it up high and hang on to it. And they'll do the face-off honors all over again.
Finland plays that classic style, and once they get inside the zone, their defensemen will get active once they're in the offensive zone. They'll start rotating. In this game, we've seen them mostly stay back at the blue line, go side to side, get it back deep, or just take the classic shots from the puck, from the point, and have them redirected. And that certainly has worked effectively for them. They've got forwards that are big enough and go to the front of the net so that they're going to get some of those classic tip goals and redirections, and that's just basic hockey. That's kind of how Finland sets themselves up shift after shift.
Jiri Seppälä carries in for Finland, puts on the brakes against the checking of Matthias Lassen. Sends it behind the net for Joel Armia. Armia will get it for Harry Pessonen. Pessonen trying the backdoor play, scores! Hannes Bjornanen on a nice setup from Harry Pessonen, and Finland has a 4-0 lead.
This is what this Finnish team does well, too. They work the corners and they work the back of the net. And they spread you out that way. They win board battles. They use up the time in the corners. Those quick cutbacks. You lose a guy. Movement in front of the net. Pessonen threads the needle. Really nice work there. There's good coverage partially by Denmark right in front of the net, but all that movement makes it difficult for them to cover everybody, and Bjornanen is on the move, puts his stick down, and Pessonen delivers it.
First of the World Championship for Hannes Bjornanen. Played in Brynäs this past season, had 11 goals and 25 points. He will play in Örebro next year as he will switch SHL teams. Seppälä and Pessonen will get the assists on the marker. Ehlers sends it on for Jensen to the line, no further. That comes off a skate. And Jensen Abel will play it back into his own zone. The long left wing pass by Anders Koch. And an icing call will bring the face-off all the way back.
This top line for Denmark is really struggling. They just can't get anything going. There's no flow to their game, and normally they're pretty good at it. Another look at the goal. Struggling at the last second to catch up. Denmark, that was Ågaard trying to get the Bjornanen, but just a half step in behind. But back to that top line, Russell, Jensen, and Ehlers, 17 points in the World Championships, including 8 goals. But they're having trouble making 2 passes in a row coming up the ice, and they were the ones that just part of the cause of the icing that they just had.
Slovenia and Hungary, the 2 teams that qualified from the D1A championship, both relegated again. In Great Britain, that was in last year, they'll be back next year in Czechia. And Poland, that has not been at the World Championship since 2002, when Mariusz Czerkowski was their star player. Ehlers will carry it in. Ehlers sends it back up top. Jensen lets the shot go. That got blocked by Manninen. Ehlers on it, back at the line, Rister, and that's off a stick and wide. Hartikainen trying to get to it, but it's cleared back in behind the net by Krogsgaard, and now finally taken by Sakari Manninen, who spent this past season in the American Hockey League with Henderson, Vegas's farm team. This is going to be called icing.
Well, they finally did get a sequence there, that top line for Denmark. At least they got some movement to their play and had an attack going, but there's no sustained attack, and that's part of the issue. For Denmark, they can't get anything going and get any shots on goal, so they're still stuck at 7.
Antti Otama, who has a goal in this game, on for Marko Antila, who has a goal in this game. And back down in for Denmark. Carried up. Marcus Lauritsen will send this in. And this is off a stick and up and out of play, and another stoppage. So you want to know what the situation in Riga is. Here it is. Switzerland, a regulation win. And the quarterfinals will be Switzerland, Germany. That one's set. Sweden would then play Czechia over in Riga. And here in Tampere, it would be USA versus Slovakia, Canada versus Finland. Canada versus Finland is also set. If Switzerland wins in overtime in Riga, it would be Swiss-Germany, and then USA would play Latvia, because Latvia would squeeze out Slovakia. And here in Tampere, it would be Sweden versus Czechia and Canada versus Finland. And a win for Latvia. There's a deflection in front. Sorensen the save. And it ends up in the corner. Would be Swiss, Germany, and Sweden and Latvia would then play over in Riga. USA, Czechia here, and Canada, Finland would be here. Again, it's a situation where the host country does not travel for the quarterfinals. They play at home. That would be Finland, and that would be Latvia. Try on the short side, looking for that top corner, was Rantanen. And an icing call here against Denmark.
Yeah, Rantanen liked that goal, all right. He was actually behind the goal line, I think, when he shot this one. He's had his looks. There's another terrific play by Rantanen. Beautiful touch. I mean, he's so good in the corners and going up and down in tight spaces on the right wing, Rantanen, and he just waits for people to get open. He can thread pucks through just like he did that.
The one thing out of this tournament, I think they've determined that George Sorensen can play at this level. Very competitive.
Yep.
Kakko will play it down for Olli Maatta. Maatta gets tied up there with Matthias Bau. Kasperi Kapanen kept it in at the line. Kapanen being watched by Aspera. Rink wide it comes for Olli Maatta. Blocker save made by Sorensen, and the rebound off the blocker all the way out the neutral ice. Kevin Fiala has scored for Switzerland. 1-1 now over in Riga. There will be some nervous fans in the building in Latvia. Taken by Ågaard, and he'll lift this in. Koivisto off the boards. Up for Sumala, up for Kakko, but intercepted. Getting there first was Ågaard, back for Gammelgaard, and he'll send it in. Mikael Ågaard will give chase. Plays in the SHL with Modo. Spent a couple of years in the OAU in Guelph, a champion there in 2020. Pass up the middle. Mulgaard carries in, long wrist shot and a good one. Blocker save made by Larmi. Lamiko is on it. He'll drop it off. It's up for Ville Poka. On for UL Armia. Through it goes for Lamiko. Puts on the brakes. Comes back from where he was. Puts it for Harry Pessanen in behind the net. Pessanen trying to work it off the sideboards. All over him was Marcus Lauritsen. Pessanen, and now it's poked off his stick. And UL Armia has to race after it, and he'll send it cross ice for Nicholas Mattenpalo. Finland starting a change. And Seppala will just take his time back at his own zone. Sends it across for Mattenpalo. And back for Seppala. And here they come as a group of 5. This will get sent in. Sorensen will glove it, try to clear it. It goes off a body and a little bit of room down the left side. Here comes Ehlers. Ehlers sends it rink wide. And Nick Jensen trying to drive that one in, and that's off a stick and out of play. 4-0 Finland with the lead here in Tampere.
Not be possible at all without all the amazing volunteers that have been working so hard for many, many weeks, and in each game we want to reward one volunteer of the game. Tämä maailman mahtavin kiekko karnevaali ei olisi millään tavalla mahdollista ilman satoja huikeita vapaaehtoisia, jotka on tehnyt hurjasti töitä tämän eteen. Me halutaan palkita joka ottelussa yksi volunteer of the game. Petro, kenen me palkitaan tänään?
Päivän vapaaehtoinen, hän nimetään Leena Stjernholm
The veteran Rodrigo Abels has scored for Latvia. So Latvia back in front 2-1 now on Switzerland. Switzerland not dressing Nico Hischier, Nino Niederreiter, and Dennis Malgin for this game tonight. And Joran van Pottelberg making his debut for Switzerland in goal. Switzerland has wrapped up top spot and will play Germany in the quarterfinals. Those two met a couple of years ago, and Germany came away with a 4-3 win. Jensen Abo on for Mikkel Bodker. Bodker will dump it in after Nicholas Freeman. Matten Palo will play it for Marco Antila. Antila for Hartikainen. Hartikainen to the line. Hartikainen centers it, puts it into the paint. Sorensen turned it aside, and then Bau was down low to clear it away. Krogsgaard is after it. He gets double teamed in the corner, but then gets some help. And finally it comes loose for Hartikainen. Hartikainen being watched there by Gammelgaard. Hartikainen centers it, but Bau down low again. This time he'll pick it up and gets taken down, but gets the puck out to center ice.
Denmark did a good job there right in front of their net. They had good position. They had guys tied up. Once they lost the battle along the end wall, which they've lost a few of those as this game has gone on. But the coverage was good when Finland just dumped it in front of the net. Next time I would think Finland will just kind of hang on to it and use the outer edges again where there is that extra room, and not just dump it in front of the net and hope that it ends up in the back of the net.
Mikko Lehtinen dumps that one in, averaging over 19 minutes of ice time per game, leads the team in that category, just a little bit ahead of Sakari Manninen. Back to the blue line. Kapanen couldn't get a stick on it. Lassen lets the shot go. It went wide. Ågaard for Olsson. And Olsson will play it back for Anderson. Nicholas Anderson trying to get it back in behind the net for Ågaard. That was intercepted, and Koivisto will play it up at center. Lead pass. Dropped back by Sumala. And Kapanen was there. Sorensen comes diving across. And it's poked away.
Ågaard got back in time there with a terrific defensive play.
9:38 to go here in the second period, and a 4-0 lead for Finland on TSN. Final game of the preliminary round of the 2023 IIHF World Championship, game number 28. Tomorrow will be an off day, travel day for some teams. And then the quarterfinals on Thursday. And the day that you lose, you go home. After that, you will play for a medal. Sepala stopped in his own zone, cross ice pass, dangerous. Ehlers does pick it off though. Ehlers sends it back for Jensen. Nick Jensen trying to drop it back for Ehlers, and the pass is gobbled up by Yoel Armia. Armia plays it for Lammikko. Lammikko, the shot save made Sorensen. And back up for Russell and on for Ehlers. Ehlers to the line. Has Nick Jensen with him. Jensen with 19 World Championship goals. That is one shy of the all-time record held by Kim Stahl, who has 20. So active players, Nick Jensen is number 1. Kept in by Molgaard, gets a bump there from Lamico, but sends it deep, and taken by Armia.
Jensen's a big, strong power forward. He could really move for a guy that looks like he has a lot of size. Boy, can he ever rip the puck. He has all those instincts that you need to be a goal scorer. It's no wonder when I hear those numbers that you say that he has in his career just in the World Championships. Jensen playing on the top line for a reason, and he could really pull the trigger. You get him in that scoring area, especially on the power play, and give him an extra second or two. Makes all the difference in the world.
He played in Sweden. Patrick Russell, the centerman on that line, played in the SHL in Linköping. And of course, the third member of that line, Nikolai Ehlers, played in Winnipeg. It was an injury kind of season for him.
You took a look at Sorensen there. That was that play where Ogard had a great back check, and Sorensen, the goaltender, was not giving up on anything. He was diving back across. He didn't have to because Ogard saved him there with a terrific stick check.
Marcus Lorentzen sends it in. Frederick Storm in on the forward check. Freeman will control. He'll leave it for Matten Pello. Matten Pello plays it up to the line. Oksanen will send it in. But corralled and brought right back out. Marcus Lorentzen will drop it back from Matthias Lassen. Back for Marcus Lorentzen. He will deflect it in. And after it is Freeman for Oksanen. Tried to get that for Bjornanen. And they'll try it again. Nicholas Matten Pello will take it all the way back into his own zone.
I give Lorentzen and Lassen a lot of credit on defense for Denmark. They play more than anybody else. Lassen plays 20.5 minutes a game. Lorentzen 23.5 minutes a game. So they're out there in all those different situations. Lorentzen was only -1 going into this game, and Lassen was actually +1. Considering all they've been through, those are significant stats alone. And Lorentzen on top of that, 6 assists coming into it. So they've contributed remarkably for Denmark on defense. Number 15 Lassen and number 22 Marcus Lorentzen.
Denmark coming off the 4-1 loss to Sweden. They were outshot 34-11 and being outshot 29-8 so far in this game. Finland, after that opening day loss to Team USA, Finland with points in 5 straight. 4 of those were wins. The other was the 6th-round shootout loss to Sweden.
And I think that loss that Finland had to the U.S., they just experienced, the U.S. experience, which is tremendous speed, tremendous forecheck, that North American, style of play, which is no surprise, and they just kept coming at them. And the Finns just looked really stiff offensively. They looked to be trying to play themselves into the tournament, and I guess perhaps they were. A little bit the same as Sweden playing the U.S. today. There's a chance for Mikko Rantanen, still trying to get that first goal of the tournament. But Sweden they got a big taste of the U.S. as well, too, even though that ended up a tie game at the end of it and went to overtime. The Swedes were overwhelmed at time by the U.S.'s speed, and it'll be really interesting going forward just on this side of it alone of who's going to do what. The U.S. to me still is the most significant team that you have to deal with from the standpoint of what they can do to you momentum-wise and speed of the game. And then I would put Sweden right there with them, a different style.
Power play for Denmark when we come back. Finland with the 4-0 lead.
Yeah.
Sumala to the penalty box in his third game here at the World Championship. Coming in at 62.5% success rate in the face-off department. Nick Jensen will take this face-off. 21 shots on goal coming into the game for Nick Jensen to lead Denmark in that department.
And that's just the way things have gone. You win that face-off, a good battle by Jensen. He puts it back to the point along the wall. And Lauritsen was about 15 feet to his right.
Here comes Ehlers right up the middle. Quick shot blocked by Olimata. Frederick Storm after it. And Marco Antila took a swing at it. Lauritsen holds it in. And then Storm's cross-ice pass right onto the stick of Bjornanen. And Bjornanen will cross the red line and shovel it down the ice and head to the bench on the change. Lauritsen will lead the power play, drops it for Russell, who will drop it for Nick Jensen. Jensen winds his way in, makes his way through a couple of Finnish defenders, gets it around for Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers will put it behind the net. Seppala breaks it up, gets it on for Lammikko. Oksanen was way up, waiting for that lead pass. Short side scores. Lammikko, a short-handed goal for Finland. And it's 5-0.
Well, Sorensen's made a lot of good saves in this game, and this one, he just had a mental blank. He doesn't get squared up on a shooter. It's a short-handed goal. It wasn't well executed on the entry. And there's lots of time in a room. Then Denmark comes back down the wall, down the middle of the ice, excuse me. Lammikko just has time, and he's got nothing to lose by putting it on the net. Let's see Sorensen. He loses his position here, slides out of the net, forgets where he is. Look where he finishes. Doesn't get his pads down at all, and never got squared up. So bad short-handed goal given up there by the team in general.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it went off Lauritsen's stick. It looked like Sorensen perhaps was just thinking about a cross-ice pass, so a short-handed goal for Finland. Another assist for Jiri Seppala, trying to go back-to-back with World Championship gold medals. Seppala's been on a real nice run. Back-to-back Liga championships, a Champions League championship, World Championship gold a year ago, and trying to get it again. Spengler Cup in 2019. Discussion over at the Denmark bench with referee Christopher Holm of Sweden. And this will get set all the way down the ice. 40 seconds left in the man advantage. Second power play of the game for Denmark. Drop back, and Mikkel Bodker will carry it in. Bodker leaves for Bow. Bow will drop it back. Jesper Jensen goes across. Olsen tries to, or Anderson tried to put that down low. Comes off a stick, kept in by Jensen Abo. It comes off of Matten Pello. Matten Pello gets it to the forehand, but can't get it past Mikkel Bodker. Cross the line for Jensen Abo. He'll play it down low and then get it back from Nicholas Anderson. Shot punched away by Larmi and picked up by Oksanen, and he'll put it off the boards and down the ice, and that'll do it. As Antti Sumala out of the penalty box.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to get some other guys on the power play, give them some extra time out there for Denmark. Bodker, 1 goal, no assists in the World Championships coming into this game. So he hadn't seen a lot of power play time for them, but the power play with the main unit wasn't going anywhere, and they just, they just don't have any feel offensively here. And down by 5-0 here already. You can tell they don't want many face-offs in this game either.
Second of the tournament for Marco Antila that got the scoring going. And then the second of the tournament for Otama. First of the tournament for Billy Polka. First of the tournament for Hannes Bjornanen. And then the shorthanded goal by Lammikko, his second of this World Championship.
Well, that top line for Finland, Hartikainen, Manninen, and Rantanen, has been night in and night out. They are a handful. They're as good a line as any we've seen on this side of the tournament, no doubt. They have other guys coming along. Kapanen, you talked about earlier. He's really made a step forward. Kaapo Kakko, Suomela. Those guys have been really good as well. And I look at that Finnish defense, and what are they going to do? How much are they going to contribute? Are they going to continue to do the things offensively that they had? Olli Maatta's had a really good tournament. He is solid at both ends of the ice. He gets a ton of ice time. He and Lehtinen, and they make the good long passes. They set their forwards, you know, on the attack with 60, 70, 80-foot passes when nobody's ready for them up the middle of the ice. And so the Finns have all the elements that they need to play against whatever style it's going to be, whether it's the U.S. super aggressive on the forecheck or more of the same style that they play like the Swedes.
Face-off will be in the Finland zone. As Finland trying to make it 6 straight games with at least a point. 5 of those would be wins if this stays the way it is. Molgaard trying to out-battle Suomela for a loose puck, and it's cleared back in. Offside is called. There's a look at the night for Mikkel Seppala.
Finland just attacking at will at times. Shots from the point, redirections, puck possession, all of those things. And it's just been way too much at times, I think, for the goaltender Sorensen, who's now faced 32 shots already, and the second period isn't even over.
12-3, the shots on goal in this period favoring Finland. Here comes Bodker. Circles, gets to the forehand, sends it in deep. Molgaard goes after it. He'll leave it there. Jensen Abo in from the line. Jensen Abo in a battle with Olli Maatta. And they have the wave going here at Nokia Arena. Long lead pass. Kapanen is in. Kasperi Kapanen to the forehand, scores.
Sorensen's angry. This is a heck of a move, but he doesn't put the brakes on fast enough, and Sorensen just upset that he got piled into. I can't blame him for that. It was Kaapo Kakko with a beautiful pass. That cross-ice diagonal pass right on the button. And so Kapanen was able to attack with a ton of speed, and when he makes the cutback move, there's the pass right on the tape. Now watch this. When he makes his move and he goes to cut back, he blows the tire. He knows what he wants to do. He steals the goaltender, Sorensen, to his right, and he scores before he even hits the dirt. I mean, that's well done. When you still have control of the puck and you're almost horizontal to the ice, you can tell you're in a pretty good zone offensively. If Sorensen, for all his best intentions, gets piled into on top of getting scored on.
Third of the tournament for Kasperi Kapanen, unless Denmark elects to challenge, and they're not going to. Don't think that would be a wise decision to do that. Nope. And a 6-0 lead here late in second period. Second period is over in Riga. Latvia with a 2-1 lead. So it's going to boil down to the final 20 minutes there. If any of the teams from here that are going to end up going over there had any ideas of going after their games this afternoon, that being Sweden or Team USA, they didn't know. Same on the other side with Czechia. They had to wait for this final game tonight between Latvia and Switzerland. Switzerland has clinched top spot over there. Morten Paulsen will lift this up at center. And back in. Cleared by Seppala, up at center ice. Lammikko got spilled, and another penalty coming up on the play. It is going to be a tripping call as we are into the final minute.
Yeah, that one shook up Lammikko because he's sort of backing his way over the blue line, and Lorentzen comes from behind him and takes his feet out from underneath.
There it is right there. That hurts.
Oh yeah, you fall on your hip like that. He was a little slow getting up.
Heinz Ehlers, his final game behind the bench for this Denmark team. Will go back to coaching in the Swiss League next season, where he spent a number of years. He will coach in Visp. Batted back to the line. Lehtinen will get it across. Mannon in the shot, and George Sorensen snares that. Boy, you got to give George Sorensen. If he's not the player of the game for Denmark,
no kidding.
I'm going to file an official complaint.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, there's been other guys who have kind of picked their spots, to say the least, when it comes to how they're playing. But Sorensen is the guy back there who's under siege, and he's made a ton of good saves, even though 6 have gotten by him. And for to get piled into on top of it on that last one, that's just like insult to injury.
You know what's impressive with him? He doesn't stay down.
Nope.
Like a lot of players now, when they get run into, goaltenders, they'll stay down, maybe try to draw a penalty, whatever the case is. He bounces right back up and gets right back into the action. Lehtinen will carry it in. Lehtinen sends it on for Harry Pessinen. Hartikainen comes over and gives Pessinen some help. Lehtinen for Rantanen. Rantanen looking for Hartikainen. Rantanen now gets double teamed. Puck pops loose, and Hartikainen has it. Hartikainen trying to jam it in front, and a sprawling save there by Matthias Lassen as the second period will come to an end.
Finland just continues the domination here, and Denmark, no doubt, is just playing out the strength.
35-10. Shots on goal after 2 periods in favor of Finland, and a 6-0 lead, 40 minutes done. In Riga, the score between Team Switzerland and Team Latvia in second period, 1-2.
Excuse me. That was not really time for this.
Can you do that again, please?
And real-time game updates at your fingertips. Find the showverse in the IIHF app. Explore the action and dive into a new digital world. Play and win amazing prizes. Available on all smart devices. In multiple languages. The 2023 IIHF app, powered by Skoda. Download it now from the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Puck's loose. Nice catch. Easy, easy. Good battle, boys. Good battle. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Loose, loose, loose. Yep. Hands, hands. Good job.
Is it?
Hold up, boys. Yep. Puck's in first.
Guys, hey, hey, hey! Näin, 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 näin.
George Sorensen has faced 35 shots in goal for Denmark. He's made a number of outstanding saves. As Finland looking to go into that quarterfinal with Canada on Thursday. Off an impressive win here against Denmark. 3 points in the game for Mikkel Seppala.
Here we go. White first, please.
Hannes Bjornen 1-1 for 2 points. Kapel Kakko has a couple of assists. Billy Polka has his first World Championship goal and has 5 shots on goal in this game for Finland.
So I think that puts the D-Corps up to, I think, 21 points for the D-Corps as well. That's pretty phenomenal.
Billy Polka will leave it there, and Olli Maatta straight up the ice. Drops it back for Suomela. On for Kapanen. Tried to work it out front. And this gets put off the boards and back down into the Finland zone, and Olli Maatta will circle back. Olli Maatta will drop it back. There's the shot. Olli Maatta spending this past season with the Detroit Red Wings. Back it comes to the line. Shot, and George Sorensen makes another save as Maatta gets that one through.
Yeah, typical of their defense. So, yeah, a couple of 4 points tonight, I believe. And Olli Maatta getting pucks through. Attacking with speed, finding the seams against the Danes, who just don't get tightened up at their own blue line there. Finland got nothing to lose. I mean, they're in a groove right now. They're just kind of flowing out there, and everything they do seems to be right, and everything Denmark does seems to be wrong.
Lehtinen off the face-off, down for Rantanen. He'll send it around for Otama. Out of the penalty box is Marcus Lorentzen. So back to full strength for Denmark. Dropped off for Lehtinen. And Otama couldn't reach it. And taken there by Lorentzen. He'll go cross ice, and this will get sent in by Gammelgaard. His first IIHF event. Got to the Danish finals with Rungsted. For the second year in a row, it was Aalborg Pirates that won the championship. And an icing call here against Denmark.
So the Finns are just going to continue to try to play their game and not pick up any bad habits here. They can pad their stats if they want. They will take their shots when they get them. The way the game is played here in this tournament, on the attack and around the wall and around the back of the net and from D to D, still it's remarkable to me how spread out the D-Corps get of both teams. There we go.
Harry Pessinen on the steal and doesn't get a real good shot away as he got chased down there by Anders Koch. In tight for Seppala, and he put that one over top the net. And taken by Jensen Abel. Plays it back for Koch, back for Abel. He'll just lift this out to center ice, gets chopped to the near side. Nicholas Anderson will send it around the boards. And Billy Polka on for Oksanen. Through the middle of the ice. This will get dumped in by Seppala. Sorensen blocks it behind the net, snaps it against the traffic all the way back for Bow. Bow to the line, but Antila is there to keep it in. Antila and Bow, the two big men on the ice for their respective teams here. Back to the line it comes. Manton-Pello scores! Nicholas Manton-Pello lets the shot go from the line, and a 7-0 lead now for Finland.
Yeah, I don't think that cuts anybody in front, and he's the first one to go to the bench for the fist bump. So again, very basic stuff from the Finns. Let's see what Sorensen sees. Well, unfortunately for him, he doesn't see anything until the very last second. See how he's looking to the outside. The general rule of thumb for the goaltenders is if you can't see anything line coming at you to try and look from the middle of the net. He tries to take a peek from the outside of the net, and it beats him cleanly on the inside. The theory is that if you're looking from the inside, you're going to be more in the middle of the net, of course, and you have a better chance of it just hitting you. Well, it hasn't been easy for him tonight, and nothing is just hitting him. He has to work for everything he gets.
Here comes Nikolai Ehlers, scores! Nikolai Ehlers on a rush finds the back of the net, and Denmark is on the board. For Matten Pello, this is his first World Championship, his first IIHF event, and he gets his first goal. And now Nikolai Ehlers will respond for Denmark.
He's got a great shot. It's the quickness of it, and he's not looking. And I think that did fool Larmy. Larmy wasn't ready. He was looking straight ahead, trying to fool the goaltender, and Larmy just not ready. Look at Larmy look and go, how did that go in? That's a goal scorer's goal. They return the favor right after the fact, so at least they get something out of this game, and they'll see if they can get a little offense going here now.
5th of the tournament and 9th point of the tournament for Nikolai Ehlers, so he becomes Denmark's single World Championship leader in points. He was tied with 4 other players coming into this, so he now has 9. And Krogsgaard and Gammelgaard with the assists, so Nikolai Ehlers 9 points in this World Championship 2022. Lauritsen had 8, 2021 Nick Jensen had 8, 2009 Morten Green had 8. So for a single tournament, Nikolai Ehlers is now Denmark's points leader.
Yeah, 5 goals and 4 assists. It adds to the numbers of that top line, and he had an injury-filled season in Winnipeg, so reason for him to want to come here. Another huge reason, his father coaching for the last time at the Danish national team.
Shot.
And a chance to play for his country.
Yes, Sorensen right pad save. Got into one playoff game after getting injured in the last, or hurt in the last game, more than an injury. It was a check from Ryan Hartman that got Ryan Hartman suspended for a game and put Ehlers out until the last game of the playoffs. He even had a couple of questions asked of him here about the Winnipeg Jets, as pretty well every Jet did, right, once their season ended, and everybody's expecting some pretty major changes there over the course of the summer. Lauritsen in behind his own net. Hartikainen goes in after it. Hartikainen throws it backdoor for Rantanen. Rantanen didn't get enough on it. Mikko Rantanen still looking for his first goal of this World Championship. He never did go 7 games in the NHL this year without a tally.
Wow.
He went 4 games once, came back with 9 goals in 6 games. He went 6 games once and then came back with 6 goals in the next 5 games. So
crazy. That's
still
crazy.
expect him to get going.
Yeah, and earlier in his career, he was playing on the #1 line in Colorado, and they just said, well, you know, he's a good player, but he's playing with top talent, right? And that's why he's scoring, you know, high 20s, 30 goals, whatever. And then this year, all the injuries that they had, and he scores 55 goals. That's an outstanding season for anybody, and he has proven that, yeah, he just needs somebody to help get him the puck, and he needs somebody who can put the puck in the net, because he can make plays equally well.
55 goals was 3rd best in the NHL. 105 points was 8th best in the NHL. Stanley Cup to his credit, a Spengler Cup. Harry Pessonen down for Yoel Armia. Armia trying to work that into the slot, knocked off his stick. Sepala gets chased down by Matthias Bau. They tie each other up. Bau comes up with the puck, sends it up the boards. Asperup trying to get a stick on it, bounces around at the line, kept in by Pessonen. And then there's that long reach of Matthias Bau again, and he'll poke that all the way down the ice back into the Finland zone. Switzerland, with a goal from Marco Miranda, has tied the game in Riga at 2-2. Latvia needing something out of that game to make the quarterfinals. Back in for Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers' pass goes off of Antila. Shot that goes wide short side. Matthias Bau, by the way, 6'7", and Marco Antila 6'8". Nanton Palo tried to play it around the boards. Nikolai Ehlers has it. Ehlers turns to the forehand. Ehlers takes a look, tried to send it across, and it's intercepted by the long reach of Antila. Anders Koch will chase him down, rubs him out in behind the net. Antila stays on it. Koch gets some help. Comes loose though, short side try. And getting a right shoulder on that chance by Oksanen was Sorensen. 7-1 here in the third period. So a 7-1 lead for Finland. Quarterfinals on Thursday, 2 here, 2 in Riga. And then the rest of the tournament will move here to Tampere for the semifinals and the finals. Finland, the defending champion. They have advanced to the quarterfinals. They will play Canada on Thursday here in the 8:20 local time start.
Well, this place will be jumping there, especially when they're playing Canada and everything on the line here. The way the fans are and the way they've been. The walk to and from the hotel for us has been as interesting as anything else, right? The fans go crazy from every country, but obviously the Finns being at home here, they will be just charged up. And that's the interesting part of it, too. Of course, the crossover, Canada coming from the other side in Riga, and fresh face, couple of fresh faces come over here, and Finland will play Canada in that first quarterfinal game. That'll be something.
Friday might be a slow day in Finland after that Thursday night game. Icing gets called here. The face-off will come back. They love their team here in Ilves. There's 2 Liga teams that play here, Ilves and Tappara. They both play out of this building.
Look at these people. Oh, they know how to have a good time, that's for sure. It's easy to have a good time when your team is winning 7-1, but again, it's amazing the number of people that are dressed up, faces painted, crazy hats on, and of course the jerseys. Thousands and thousands of jerseys worn every game.
The pictures out of Riga are outstanding. Scene there, unbelievable with the fans there. There's a fan zone outside the rink, which may have more fans at it than they actually have inside the building in Riga. In across for Rantanen. Rantanen to the outside, lets the shot go. Another save by Sorensen. Skipped away from Rantanen, but kept in. Hartikainen works it back, tried to go backdoor. Otama tried to settle that bouncing puck down, could not. Sakari Manninen will come across and leave it for Hartikainen, who will leave it for Rantanen. Rantanen for Lehtinen. Mikko Lehtinen trying to center that. That got blocked. And grabbed off and up the ice for Nick Olsson. On for Anderson, and Anderson will dump it in. Play it into the corner. Frederick Storm trying to get a stick on it, can't. Marcus Lordson breaks it up at center. And Nicholas Anderson back into his own zone for Matthias Lassen. Drops it for Marcus Lawrenson. Lawrenson trying to send that through for Russell. This goes up and into the Finland bench, but it looks like everybody's all right.
Yeah, that gave a couple of people haircuts. Attacking with speed. Rantanen so good. He continues. He's shooting the puck. He always shoots the puck, and he's laughing about it. Nope, I just can't score. Nope, I don't know what it is, but I do have 8 assists. And again, that's probably the good news. You just, although I've been saying it the last couple of games, right? They haven't needed him to score, and he sets up all the plays. You just know when you have a great goal scorer and a great player like that, somewhere along the line, the dam is going to break. And if it's in the quarterfinals and in the medal round, that's great.
Shot by Pessonen. That goes wide, glove side. Pessonen chases it down on the near side. Being watched there by Lawrenson. Back for Lammikko. Lammikko away from Matthias Lassen. Lassen stays with him. Lammikko goes down. Polka with the shot. Wanted to make sure that he didn't hit Lammikko with it. And back up the ice for Nikolai Ehlers with Russell. Ehlers puts on the brakes, has Nick Jensen with him. Gets it for Nick Jensen, who tried to get it back to Ehlers. And that got intercepted, and now right back up for Harry Pessonen.
That was so well played by the entire Finn team. They come back and they support. Polka was the lone man back for the initial 2-on-1. And Ehlers really didn't have a pass to be made. That's why he put the brakes on. And then everybody came back and supported, and everything was taken care of.
Save made by Sorensen on the long shot. And now 41 shots on goal in this game for Finland. So Denmark coming off the loss to Sweden, where they were outshot 34-11. It's 42-11 here in the third period in this one. And for them, the tournament started the way they wanted it to. 3 straight wins, and then the game against Germany, and a game where they win that one, and they legitimately have a very good chance at a quarterfinal spot. And they lose that one 6-4. They had it tied up 3-3 in the third, and then their schedule just got tough. A 3-0 loss to Team USA, 4-1 loss to Sweden, and it's 7-1 here in the third period.
The other matchup we know is Swiss-German, correct?
Swiss and Germany, correct.
So Germany makes it in. Well, we were pretty sure they were going to get in, but they were a tweener team. And the start that they had just wasn't happening. They just kept losing these one-goal games. They were playing well, but is it going to be one of those years where we just can't get anything done? And they started getting better, and they started getting some wins. They kept their confidence level, and that has a lot to do with it. You keep improving a little bit and a little bit more. And the Germans are sneaky good. If they continue to get some pretty good goaltending, ooh, that's a big save there. If the Germans get the goaltending that they certainly could, they'll be tough to handle for the Swiss.
9:23 to go in the third. A bullet from Antila. Denmark and Finland. Denmark made the quarterfinals in 2010, lost 4-2 to Sweden, made the quarterfinals in 2016 and lost to Finland. Last time these teams met in the World Championship, 2018. Denmark beat Finland 3-2. These are Denmark's wins. And then in 2019, the last time they met, Finland won by a score of 3-1. Back in 2010 is the only other time that Denmark did beat Finland. Kasperi Kapanen. So Switzerland with on a goal by Anders Ambjol, leading Latvia 3-2, and somewhere along the line, Slovakia is nervously cheering. Gets deflected up. So Switzerland minus some key players with a couple of goals here in the third period in Riga. Matthias Bau will bring it back in. Bau doesn't shoot it. And grabbed off by Ole Mata. Should Switzerland win that game in regulation, Switzerland, Germany, Sweden, and Czechia in Riga. USA, Slovakia, Canada, Finland here. And we'll leave that for now until that game does come to an end. They are a little bit ahead of us. Back to the line it comes. Over for Lehtinen. Lehtinen's shot blocked in front by Morten Paulsen. Hartikainen trying to work it free. Takes a bump there from Marcus Lauritsen. Gets dumped. Manninen will get it back at the line for Lehtinen. Lehtinen being watched there by Aspera. Plays it down for Manninen. Back for Hartikainen. Hartikainen will control. Lehtinen jumping in. Manninen got a bit of a whack at it. Back to the front of the net it comes from Hartikainen. And this gets sent down the ice. And Ultima, I'm not sure he could skate any slower to make sure that got across the icing line. He could have timed him with a calendar.
And the Danes are tired. You got three guys leaning over, their sticks on their shin pads, trying to get a breather. They wanted it out of the zone, but they didn't want it to be icing. They can't make the line change now. At least they get a little bit of a breather, and I'm sure they'll be dragging it as much as they can to try and get a little extra breather before the face-off happens.
2010 was the last time Anders Ambjol had 4 in a world championship, and the one he scored in Riga in the third period is his 4th of this world championship. The long dump in sails up and out of play. And now under 7 left in this one, and the Finnish fans will go home happy. Over in Riga, a little bit of time left to see whether the Latvian fans will go home happy or not. And Daugavins has just tied the game in Riga. Kaspers Daugavins in the dying minutes of the third period over there. So that building would be jumping a little bit right now. This is cleared back. Jensen Abo goes back for it. Plays it up for Nikolai Ehlers, off balance, tried to get it out, could not. Jensen will play it back into his own zone. Lamiko is there, and Jensen Abo, the captain of this Denmark team, will get it. It's played around the boards. Ehlers hustles to the far side, tried to chop it out against Polka. Harry Pessinen on the puck, back for Joel Armia. Armia will wind up, and Sorensen makes the save. Ehlers will send it out to the blue or to the line, but not out. Seppala plays it back, and there's a penalty coming up. It's going to be an interference, a little pick play by Finland that gets called. So with 6:02 to go, Denmark will go to the power play. Third power play of the game for Denmark.
Seppala's had quite the night. He's been involved offensively, been moving the puck well. And when defensemen have a game like this, the defense corps in general, they get a chance to put some points on the board. It makes them feel good too, and more well-rounded going into that quarterfinal game that's coming up for them. But right now, power play for Denmark.
Back-to-back league championships for Seppala with Tappara, who play here. Also a Champions League championship for Tappara.
Yeah, he's had some good luck. It's his third time here at the World Championships. The gold and a silver, that's a pretty good way to start.
And across the line, Denmark with the power play, and getting spilled on the near side was Mikkel Bodkert. It's back down the ice for Nicholas Anderson, and he'll pitch this in behind his own net. Long pass, Anderson takes it from Jensen Abel, plays it for Bow. He'll swing it around the boards. Bodkert back to the line, or Poulsen back to the line, but too much on that pass. Lammikko, who already has a shorthanded goal in this game, plays it back for Oksanen. And now it does get turned over, and Denmark will take over. Under 5 to go here in the third period.
They're pressuring even though they're a man short. They know that Denmark's really struggled in this department, just trying to get organized and coming up the ice on their power play. So they're all over the puck carrier, and it just seems like they're full strength. Denmark can't find guys open. They finally get inside the zone, but watch the Finns move here. When a guy has his back to the middle of the ice, when he's looking at the wall, they jump him. That's classic stuff. Pass is too slow around the boards on a backhand. They jump that one, get it down the ice. Technically just so sound from the Finns.
And as you mentioned, they will play Canada in the quarterfinal on Thursday here. Cross ice pass for Nick Jensen. Jensen walks it in. Jensen tried to go back door, no one there, and Bjornanen will grab it off for Finland. Hannes Bjornanen getting chased there by Anderson. Seppala out of the box, so Finland back to full strength. Off a stick high in the air. Otama is there, and a shot from Otama. Sorensen fights this one off. It looked like it dipped. And Sorensen fights it off, and we get a stoppage in play with 3:52 to go in this one.
Celebrate the preliminary round at the fan zone. Just walk out the arena, head over to the train station, and on the way you can find it. There's food, drinks, music, and amazing atmosphere.
Ja siinä tosiaan Väsölle kannattaa lähteä välittömästi ottelun tavoittua tuossa. Se on rautaviraskaan Nokia-arenan puolessa välissä. Siellä on meininkiä kello 1 asti live-bändiä yhtä muuta mahtavaa. Nyt otetaan loppukirisien kannustukseen, rakkaat ystävät. Kumpi joukkue voittaa tänään? Kumpi? Suomi! Suomi!
(7-1) is the score in favor of Finland. 3:52 to go. Thank you to all the people here in Tappara for a terrific couple of weeks. Thanks to our crew. Thanks to the in-front crew for all the terrific work that they do to bring you the pictures that you see in the production of this event. In the corner it goes, a bump on the play and sent back in behind the net. Gammelgaard trying to get a stick on it. Tied up and batted back to the blue line now. Kakko trying to hold it in. Off the skates of Olli Mata, and Astrup will carry it out. He'll drop it back. Olsen lets the shot go. That never got through. And Seppala, or rather Sumala, will carry it down the right side boards. Into the Denmark zone. Lehtonen from the line. Under a minute to go in Riga, and that game still tied 3-3. And a point for Latvia will get them into the quarterfinals.
I can only imagine those fans there going ballistic trying to support their team.
Who they will play will still be up in the air until that game is decided. Hartikainen trying to play it out front, does. Comes loose for Manninen. Manninen back for Hartikainen. Hartikainen getting bothered there by the youngster Molgaard. And Molgaard will come up with the puck.
Hartikainen can do that really well. He protects the puck well. He's a big man, and he has no problem playing mano a mano like that when he's dead still. He can manipulate the puck. He can use that body well, and he's got that nasty little edge, which he showed right there. He'll drop the shoulder even when he has the puck.
Into the final 2 minutes of this one, as the preliminary round will come to an end here in Tampere. Nikolai Ehlers, who has the Denmark goal in this game, his 5th of this World Championship, his 9th point, which is a single tournament high for Denmark. It's tied up in behind the net. Ehlers digs it free, sends it back at the line for Krogsgaard, turned away by Larmi. Russell back for Ehlers, back at the line. The shot from Gammelgaard, and that is grabbed and held by Emil Larmi.
I'm not sure if that one was actually going to hit the net, but it might register as the 12th shot that Denmark has had. 46-12 now. The shots by Finland. Incredible how they've just mounted and maintained and kept the puck possession, and yet at the same time they know they have the game well in hand, so they haven't really tried to rub it in. They've just been executing to try and keep their game tuned.
Slap shot from Matthias Lassen. And Emil Larmi will make the save on that and hang on to it.
Larmi with 4 games played, 5 now. And he only had 8 goals against in the 4 games he had played before tonight. So he had another one tonight. 9 in 5 games. Really good stuff. His save percentage might have got hurt a tad because he hardly had any shots, but one went in on him. Not a whole lot he could do about that one. But they've had good goaltending too, and he's still challenging. He's keeping his head in the game right down to the last minute.
UC Olkinuora had a terrific tournament last year, leading Finland to the gold medal. So you wonder come Thursday if it's Emil Larmi that gets the start, or if it's UC Olkinuora that will get the start against Canada. This gets snapped up the middle, deflected in by Morten Paulson. Emil Larmi will send it up the glass. Pessinen will play it for UL Armia. Armia lets the shot go, and Sorensen will make the save and hang on with 40 seconds left.
Yeah, it's a good point. Olkinuora's got all the experience. Olkinuora played 2 games in this World Championships. He had 4 goals against. The .846 save percentage for Olkinuora, .921 save percentage for Larmi. If you're going to go strictly on that, the numbers are pretty darn good. And just the fact that they played Larmi more than Olkinuora, it might be start the young guy, Larmi, and see where it goes and have a short hook if you feel like he doesn't have it going.
So right now, 3 goals against in the last 3 games for Finland. So they've locked it down a little better than what the start was. They lost that opening game. Team USA, as you mentioned, Team USA has played very, very well. Undefeated so far. Here comes Antila. Antila with the shot. That never got through. So regulation has ended in Riga. Latvia is in. They need to decide that game yet. Riga is in. Latvia is in. Slovakia is out. And this one comes to an end here. Finland will win this one 7-1.
Well, it was a good try in the tournament for Denmark. They just didn't have the horses, and they had nothing left. And for the Finns, they have continued to build and build. And this was a big win for them offensively, and they are ready for the next round. And
Heinz Ehlers' tenure as coach comes to an end for Denmark. 7-1 the final here. We are going to send you to Riga for what will be a wild atmosphere in that building. Goodbye from Tampere.
Shot on goal in the entire game. Team Denmark 14, Team Finland 47. Riikassa tilanneottelussa Sveitsi, Latvia 3-3. In Riga, the score between Team Switzerland and Team Latvia 3-3. Vuoden 2023 IIHF jääkiekon MM-kisojen yhteistyökumppani Raiffeisen Bank International palkitsee kummankin joukkueen parhaan pelaajan. The best players of both teams will be awarded by Raiffeisen Bank International, official sponsor of the 2023 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship Tournament. Tanskan palkinnon jakaa Prize for Team Denmark is presented by Tanskan jääkiekkoliiton puheenjohtaja, President of the Danish Ice Hockey Union, Henrik Bak Nielsen. Suomen palkinnon jakaa Prize for Team Finland is presented by kansainvälisen olympiakomitean urheilijavalikoinnan puheenjohtaja, International Olympic Committee Athletes Commission Chair Emma Tervo. Tanskan paras pelaaja, best player of Team Denmark, numero 17, number 17, Niklas Jensen. Suomen paras pelaaja, best player of Team Finland, numero 24, number 24, Hannes Järninen. Hyvät naiset ja herrat, seuraavaksi palkitaan Tanskan 3 parasta pelaajaa tässä turnauksessa. Ladies and gentlemen, now the award of the 3 best players of Team Denmark of the tournament will be presented. Joukkueet ovat valinneet 3 parasta pelaajaa. The 3 best players awards are selected by each team. Tanskan 3 parasta pelaajaa ovat the 3 best players of Team Denmark are number 24, 24, Nikolai Ehlers. Number 41, 41, Jesper Jensen Aapun. Number 63, 63, Patrick Russell. Arvoisa yleisö, jos pystyt, pyydän nousemaan ylös, ottamaan hatun päästäsi ja kuulemaan voittajajoukkue Suomen kansallishymnin. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're able, please rise and remove your hats for the national anthem of the winning team, Finland. The 2023 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship Tournament will continue day after tomorrow, Thursday, with quarterfinal games. Welcome.
So difficult to solve?
I don't know. It's just a really good team, and it's a tough game for us. We had nothing to play for, and we were maybe a little bit drained mentally. But I still want to remember this tournament as we won the first game and had a big final for us against Germany, and we lost that one, unfortunately. But tough loss, but the Finns look really good.
Despite the loss tonight, plenty of positives to take away from this tournament. Is there a message you have to all the Danish fans who supported you throughout the way?
No, I mean, just thanks for watching, and I hope you guys come to Czech next year and support us in the arena.
Your coach, Heinz Ehlers, coaching his last World Championship game tonight. As captain of this team, what does he mean to not only Danish hockey, but the years that he's put in as coach?
In Danish, Heinz har været en kæmpe rolle for os, og han har givet os troen på, at vi kan vinde mod alle modstandere, så længe vi holder os sammen som et hold. Så tak til ham, og resultaterne snakker for sig selv.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Outshot Denmark. Denmark. What impressed you the most about Finland's dominant win tonight to wrap up the preliminary round?
Yeah, I think we have good confidence today. We got some good goals, and that was a great win.
I know you were on the team last year that won gold here in Tampere, Finland. Once again, you'll be meeting Canada, but this time in a quarter-final game. Have you watched much of them throughout the preliminary round, and what kind of game are you expecting?
Not much, but we know that Canada have a very good team every year, so we have to be ready on Thursday.
As mentioned, you were part of the team that won gold here in Tampere, Finland last year. What do you think this year's team is capable of achieving?
No, meillä on tosi hyvä joukkue ja me pystytään kyllä vielä tästä parantaa ja yritetään pelata torstaina paras peli.
Thank you. Congratulations on the win.
Kiitos. Thank you.
Yes.